Hello, my good friends. Welcome back. It's Peggy Lou, and I would like to show you some winter decor that's taken me a very long time to get to. I will explain that a little later. I've tried to make things as icy looking as I could. I've collected all these pretty acrylic snowflakes for many years. I don't know if you ever used to see them at Hallmark stores. They would be gone in no time. You'd try to get over there and hope that you were hitting when they just put them out, and I was always late. I was lucky if I could find one. But sometimes I found them in the stores too. I used to put them in our front picture window, but for some reason that big picture window seems to fog up a lot. 'Cause I have the humidity on and it gets very cold in Minnesota, so then we end up with a lot of moisture on the window and my snowflakes would fall off. It would be so wet on the window, so you gotta turn the humidity down again for a while to hope it dries out. I've looked for individual or pairs of pretty, very inexpensive candle holders at thrift stores for many, many years. Last year in January, I showed you how I put old Christmas tree or evergreen candles on them. And a lot of those candles, I put glitter on them if there wasn't glitter. So I did have that display out here last year. Some of them are very pretty and others are very plain, but I just picked out ones that I thought were kind of icy looking. And I was getting them for $1.99, $1.49 for many years. I kept finding just some of the nicest pairs, but once in a while, if I really liked an odd one, like this one, I would take that too. And because they were so cheap, I just kind of took a chance to see what would work with the candles that I have. This one's cute, and I do have a match to that one. That one back there is very fancy, and I do have the match to that on the other side over here. This is an odd one. Very pretty, skinny. I hope it focuses there for you. Very tall, skinny one. But they're very, very fun to me, and I just have enjoyed them for so many years. I haven't needed to look for any more candle holders because my bottom drawer in this dresser is actually where I keep all of these, not the candles. The candles I keep upstairs under the bed, and I do wrap them in bubble wrap. But that is what I enjoy for January. I really love glass votives instead of using candles all the time. You know, tapers. I think they're so fun. I've got a drawer full of them beneath me here in this buffet is where I keep a lot of candle supplies. So the white plastic fern-looking half candle ring there with red flocked berries on it, I found that candle ring and I did cut it in half many years ago. The other half is over there, along with this adorable taper one with just glittered berries. I always thought that was just the sweetest set. So I've kept those for January decor, not Christmas. I thought I would use just some of these taper candles. I have a lot more, and I could have probably put some green. I did try it at first. I took out my green lucite candles and mixed it in with these two newly found clear ones, but I decided it was a little too much. I thought I'm just gonna stick with the clear look, and I've been thrifting these other candle holders, round ones or snowflake ones, which I've got in the living room for many years too. I just found the one on the left this late December, probably after Christmas. I've had this little art glass snowman for many years, and I did see another one. I don't know if you saw me talking about it in the video that we just did recently. I think it was just before Christmas, and then just after Christmas we went to Antiques on Main Street in Hopkins, Minnesota, and I did see another art glass snowman. I did not ask for a key for them to open it up and let me know what the price was. I was very interested in it, and I may go back and check it out when we have more time to just look around. Norm got me this tree, this really large acrylic tree. I did show it last year. It lights up. He got it half price at Hobby Lobby after the Christmas rush. So I was lucky to get one of those. I think there was a bigger one yet, which is kind of overdone. I think this was the middle-sized one. I wouldn't have minded the smaller ones, but I don't think they had any left. So that's what I did for the buffet out front here, in front entrance. I found this large snowflake plastic tablecloth many years ago, and I've always used it for my January look out here on the buffet, and I cut it in half because it was so big. It's just the raw edge is draped over the back, of course, but it works very nicely. My floor is creaking, hope you don't mind. Here's some of the snowflakes that I did manage to get. I have some more too, but I just can't put that many on the mirror. I do have them scattered about. This one's very pretty. I hope it will focus. Don't want to get too close. And then plainer ones. I really like these more icy, I don't know if you'd call that a little more frosty, but they're not as clear. I really do like them, but for some reason they're the ones that keep getting broken. They're probably more vulnerable because they're probably just more airy in order to get that look, so they just seem to keep breaking. I don't have many left, and I sure don't find them very easily in antique shops. But I just this weekend found this one in an antique store. It's been embellished with rhinestones, and I think it looks like they painted it a little bit of highlighting with some silver paint. I know it's very hard to see there, but get my hand out of the way. I wish I didn't have to be in the mirror, but you know I love mirrors in our retro modern decor. This one is very pretty, another one from Hallmark. That was really fun. One of my fanciest ones got broke. So sad, I'll probably never find it again. Over here I use those same green sconces, and these Department 56 frosty acrylic trees work pretty well. This is the shorter one on the right out of a set, and this is the taller one. You can see how much higher it is to the top compared to the right one. But they both, the base, whatever I put on these sconces, like even trying to put a candle stick on it, the bases on a lot of candlesticks are pretty wide and they just don't fit. So I really am limited sometimes at what I can put on here. A couple more snowflakes that I had for a very long time. They match. So I did stop at Hobby Lobby and picked up a package of white votives. I usually am a little afraid to start using a real candle. Boy, you can't even see the flame in there. It's burning, but the flame is disappearing by the camera. That is funny. It's not picking it up. But anyways, these are really nice. They were white compared to some that I had already, some older ones that I had in the drawer that I was going to use. But then when I went to add the new ones, I thought, wow, these are really, really white. So I decided to use real candles today instead of the little battery ones. I thought you would enjoy that more. So let's go look at what I put on the shadow box over here on the other side. If you watched my January video last year, you will see that I did have this same fun nylon sculptural, or how do you say that? Sculptured? I can't remember quite the word they use for these kind of crafts. Sewn things that have a little fiber lining inside that makes them poofy, and old nylon bow on him. I glued on his eyes. They were buttons that I cut the backs off of. But I think he's kind of old, and I do love his funny, real old-fashioned hat. Very crazy hat. So I am not going to part with him. I did thrift him. I just really enjoy him. Easy to pack, too. And I did show this last year. If you saw it last year, I hope you don't mind revisiting it. It is made by a good friend, Linda Sumner, and she named this North Woods Snowman, and her signature is over here, 1997. So we've had this for a very long time. She has all kinds of artwork that she's been doing like this for many years and selling them online and in gift shops. And they made their own molds, her and her husband, Bill, and they made their own paper. So they are both very, very creative. Bill, her husband, was usually the one that would take everything to the art shows while Linda was at home slaving away, making new, beautiful artwork. The name of their business is Bear Paw Paperworks. They are online, I believe. It has been very difficult with COVID, though, with no shows going on. That's really been difficult for artists, I'm sure, everywhere. This is what I've collected for many years, just a few of my little snowmen. I have a collection at the top of the stairs on my metal shelf, and they have a lot of ceramic Christmas trees by them too. They're probably my fanciest ones. I just purchased this. The white lights aren't showing real great, but it was actually a Valentine decor decoration at Hobby Lobby. So I did just find that when I went to go get the candles and a couple other things. That's a wood tree on the right there that I just thrifted, I think this past fall. And a lot of these are the little old Taiwan snowmen. This one over here is the matte finish too, that same as that one. I have a lot of Taiwan snowmen, and I do really like them. There's a pair of acrylic trees from a long, long time ago that we got from Department 56. And the ones with the cardinals in it, the brown tree, that's Department 56. I found the carved wood one, thought it was so cute, in a thrift store. Very skinny. I always pick up a little evergreen tree if I can find them, because I know I'm going to be able to find somewhere to use it with these snowmen. I just think they make you smile. That is one of two salt and pepper set. I just happened to find the second one like 10 years later this year. So now I have two of them. So that is the front entrance. Let me back up here. So it is fun to walk in the door and see that from our garage door behind me. I hope your winter has been going well. I am sorry for all of you that have been going through terrible storms. We've had a lot of snow here, but nothing that has been crippling. So we do think of you out east in all these terrible storms, and especially the tornadoes. We pray for you. If you are in that kind of situation, it would be just terrible. We feel very bad for all of you that have losses this year. Here's one last look at the buffet with the light out. I thought you might want to see what that looks like. It does light the snowflakes up, doesn't it? A little bit. That's fun. I get so much pleasure out of finding glass, beautiful glass pieces at the thrift stores. These were like, maybe they were 79 cents a piece. I forgot to look it up, but they used to be 49 cents. The clear ones are even less desirable to people, I'm sure. So I found 4 of them in a bin on the bottom shelf at Bibles for Missions just last week. That casts a nice shadow, doesn't it? This snowball one, I didn't mention that I have had that for decades. I did find it at a thrift store, and now when I see them in the antique shops, they're very expensive. That's a very, very heavy piece of art glass. So I don't know where they came from. Maybe they're Scandinavian. I don't know, but that is a fun look when you put real candles in it. Here is my favorite snowman collection with the evergreen trees. I started looking for these probably 20 years ago in the thrift stores. It's always changing because I do manage to find the little Taiwan ones. I don't very often find the really, really nice Japan ones. I don't even think I have any of the Japan ones here. These are pretty much, except for that one salt and pepper guy with the broom up there, and looks like maybe a cardinal sitting on his shoulder. That's the only shiny one. All the rest of these are the flatter finish that were possibly Homeco. So each year, if I'm lucky enough to find one, then I just keep the best ones out up here. That one was fairly new. I think, this past year. And this one also, she's pretty fun because she has such crazy eyelashes, and I love her texture. She is quite a flat finish. Even her scarf, more so than a lot of the Taiwan ones. When they painted them like the red, that ended up being a little bit shinier. But I think they are so fun. They can't help but make you smile. The majority of the trees that I typically find are ceramic. But this year, for the first time I think, I decided to add some of my smaller candle trees. So there's one candle there. There's another one there in the corner, and I've got on the other side the same thing. She was very, very sweet. I did show her last year. She's a belle. Really cute. Really looking up. And that one was quite different because of the candle and the base on it compared to all the other ones. Don't have a base on them. And there's my tiniest little candle. That is really, really small. So a couple of winters ago, I was really, really surprised to find this taller one. Very, very fun. And this is a recent find. Just this past fall, I believe. And that's a candle. I think I did put a little glitter on it. I'm not sure. And she's a pretty big one too, compared to all the others. So I know I did show this last year, but it is different. I hope you enjoyed seeing it again. I have shown you some of our old radio collection. I ended up with 2 red ones on the same shelf and 2 green ones together on the top shelf this time, instead of mixing them all up. And they go nice, the green ones, I think, with some of my bigger old tree candles that I just showed you how I had a big variety together in the front entrance last year. So I just took out those and left behind in the bin all the white ones. Thought this is plenty up here. So that made a fun display. I had found for $1 a little lying fawn Avon perfume bottle, and I already had one, so I thought, well, that would be fun. At least I'd have 2 of them, and I was gonna lay them down here at the base of that big tree. And wouldn't you know, because we've moved a lot of things around in our house, I packed up a lot of things, and I can't find the second one, so this display is without the little deer. Still kept my clock up here. I don't know that I will be moving that around much because I like it a lot, and I kind of got tired of switching out pictures and plaques and things. It does get to be a lot of work, especially when I'm trying to make the videos. So I'm thinking that I won't be moving that too much. Over here, a couple winters ago, I got these 2 mod ceramic gazelle figures, or I don't know. Do you call a certain size figurine, do you call it a statue? I just think that's more appropriate if it's really big. Otherwise, I tend to call them figurines. But then a lot of people probably think figurines are like your really small items. Does figurine mean it's styled after a person? I should have looked that up. I'm teaching myself new things all the time because I'm always looking up something when I question it after I film it. Then I end up having to put notes in my videos because I didn't think about it ahead of time. So those were a little pricey from an antique shop, but they were having a sale several years ago in downtown Hopkins. I've had this really pretty gold splatter vase. It does say USA on the bottom, way down there on the bottom. Many years ago, I believe I bought that at the Fairgrounds antique show, and I think it was a pretty good deal. I just picked some of the wintry looking things that I had in my bins. This vase tends to be leftover stuff that I didn't end up putting downstairs in the living room. On this octagon shelf, I did put some of my cuter Japan snowmen, and this snow girl is the sweetest of all of them. And I did talk about her last year on the shelf behind me, but she is getting more attention this year on this shelf with this adorable guy who's got a mouse on his hat and the doggy. She is very sweet. Special designer name is on the bottom of her foot. And Norm got me this bottle brush tree this year. These are Department 56 birch trees. I've had them for decades, and a couple of funny snowmen over there I've had for a very long time. I think that's another girl. And these two, the one on the right, I've had for many years, but this one is newer to me, and it is a really sweet, detailed Japan one. The one on the left, ceramic one, could be hobbyist, I'm not sure, but it's one of my bigger snowmen, and I just found this one on the right that is probably, could be a Homeco. Don't know for sure, but I did have to touch up the deer, so I was painting the mittens and the whole deer and probably the top of the hat. They were worn off. I did use Tester's enamel paint. I should have used a flatter paint though. I didn't think about it until I was all done that I was using a gloss on the deer and the hat and the mittens. It should have been a little flatter, I think. Even though your ceramic ones are shiny, it's just that she is that Taiwan flatter finish. So that's what's on that shelf. I like it this year with the birch trees. That's the first time I've done that. The birch trees were always downstairs on a black metal shelf that we have had for a very long time out there. And it only had one little shelf to decorate it with, but it was a very open area, so I could have those birch trees that tall on that mirror, but now that we have that gold shadow box, vintage shadow box down there, there's no way they fit. I did change some things over here. I decided to add 2 of the mirrors that were in my bathroom. I did thrift these. They are a very nice antique look, and I love the fact that there was a diamond one and a somebody told me what that shape is. I can't remember, but it's an odd shape, of course. I just love it. So I'm trying something a little different. I like the geometric shapes like our mirror down there too. I like that. I've been waiting for the sun to peek out from between all the clouds that are out there today to show you how fun it is with all of these old candy dishes. It's not cooperating real well. Norm was sitting in his chair over there yesterday and he noticed that too. How nice it was when the sun would come through. Some of this living room I'm going to show you when it's a little darker out and I can light the candles. But I was hoping to catch those sun rays. My curtains even cause these diagonal lines on the table. I just love these old candy dishes. I think I started collecting them 2 winters ago. They're pretty easy to find. I don't know, don't you think clear glass hasn't been very popular until maybe this past winter, I think? For some reason there's been more interest. But I just love them. These are my favorite too.